The one piece of this we haven't talked a lot about, you have the quarterback who was sacked the most of anyone in the NFL this year on one side. That's Joe Burrow. We've talked about that endlessly. You have the quarterback who threw the most interceptions of anyone in the NFL this year. That's Matthew Stafford. I mean, in the Super Bowl, turnovers almost always wind up deciding it. That feels like a major factor in this game.
I agree with you. I mean, I think if Matthew Stafford turns the ball over, what you're doing is just giving the Cincinnati offense more chances to put points on the board. And we've talked about how dynamic and explosive this receiving core is. Joe Mixon, we've talked a lot about Jamar Chase, but we need to talk about Joe Mixon in this running game too, because he is explosive. So if Stafford turns the ball over, you're just giving Cincinnati more chances.
Bart, Stafford has thrown his share of picks. They also turned the ball over 4 times in that game against Tampa without throwing an interception. So turnovers, which generally decide Super Bowls, if you're thinking ahead of time on which team should have the edge there, you lean towards Cincinnati, no?
Well, I lean towards Cincinnati being able to have a little bit more ball security because, Stafford at times can get loose with the football, and Cam Akers has, fumble. Once a fumbler, always a fumbler is what we say. You talk about that ball security. It's the Super Bowl. You got emotions are high. You're trying to fight for that extra yard. Guys have gotten so much better. It used to be just Peanut Tillman was the best at punching the ball out, but guys have got really good at punching the ball out when you're fighting for those extra yards. So you have to realize when it's important, when you can't. Matthew, can throw some picks, and it still amazes me when I see Eli Apple out there and nobody this was a guy that couldn't play dead in the country western when he was here with the Giants, but now he's found ways to make plays. And do you try and exploit those type of matchups that you have where you have the advantage?
Tim, I want to go back to the QB quick read. So for the fans who are getting set to watch the game, and you say they're going to have, I don't want to put words in your mouth, a more cautious, perhaps passing attack. What will that look like? How will we recognize that?
What makes you think when you take the kid out of Detroit, but Detroit not out of the kid? That's a little bit the case for Stafford. Stafford has found himself in kind of taking unnecessary chances. It takes shot plays. Just because you call a shot doesn't mean you have to throw it if it's not there. So what will it look like? Think about all the move the pocket plays. They love to run inside zone where they, scrape across the formation and kick out so they can cut it back. And then off of that, here comes Cooper Kupp, and you think that he's kicking out, but look, no, he's right into the flat. And so the read for Stafford is after the fake, I come out. There's Cooper Kupp right in front of me. If he's not there, maybe I'm throwing the comeback behind it, or here comes an over route. Easy 1-2 right in front of you, type read stuff. I think that's what we'll see.
I turn to the psych major over here, and again, we talk about all the pressure on Stafford, and I'm old enough to know that historically Super Bowls were almost always blowouts because those turnovers start to compound themselves. If Stafford has a bad, shaky moment earlier, does that start to become something where the pressure starts to mount?
That's what I'm interested to see because over this recent stretch, he has been better. He has played better. I think the Rams are sort of up and down offensively. This could be the moment for Matt Stafford where he puts it all to rest. No, this moment is not too big for me. I am that guy. And hopefully if he does make mistakes, they aren't compounded, because that's what we'd expect from Matt Stafford.
For all the credit we've given Joe Burrow, and he deserves every word of it, the Cincinnati defense and their kicker are the reason they're in the Super Bowl, right? They hung in there from down 21-3, and they kept them in that game, and the kicker is a weapon. He's not a luxury. Those are the reasons they're here. Let's see what Stafford does. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.